Just underway at Century Arena. It's the Fort Garry Twins and the Transcona Railer Express. I'm Graham Sevier with Graham Forsyth here at Century Arena. Just a couple minutes in, and this is a big one in the MMJHL as we have pretty big standings race at stake right now. The Transcona Railer Express are 7th place, 16-9-4, in pursuit of the Twins, who are 21-15-5. They're in 5th place, Graham. And so this one means a lot.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to their coaching staff before the game. I forgot to get his name, unfortunately. One of their assistant coaches, but he said desperation is the mindset into these next 2 games with the Twins. They're already up on the Twins with a 3-goal lead in a game that was postponed due to injury, and Transcona's coach said that they only need 1 point to clinch. So if they get these guys to OT or shootout tonight, they end up doing that, Graham.
And as the puck is now brought in here by Fort Garry on the near side, taken away. And what we've seen early on in a couple minutes is definitely some momentum for the Railer Express, and definitely that desperation showing as the puck is free in the Fort Garry zone. It's rolled around behind the net there by Connor Toth and cleared back out to center ice. The pass from Lazat intended for Declan Bowden is just too far, so that'll be icing. Get a face-off back in the Fort Garry zone.
Good start for the Transcona Railer Express. Of course, seeing number 13, their captain, on the ice, and Jason Cochin. He's a returning player. He's a veteran on this team, of course. Where's there to expect for him to be a guy that really shows that energy tonight, Graham?
Face-off one there by Transcona. Matty Boonstra rolls it behind the net. You mentioned the game that was postponed that's going to be resumed about halfway through. That'll be played on Tuesday night. Boonstra already has 2 goals and an assist in that game. He's the leading point getter on the team by a lot, 61 points. As now here's ball shot, bringing the puck up for Fort Garry. High wrist shot over top of the net, and it sits behind the goal. In net there is Justin Powers for Transcona. And then at the other end we have Brendan Birch-Hayden for Fort Garry, as now Tremblay sends it on back. Here's Pasechnikov with the puck. Now another turnover. We've seen that a couple times here in the early minutes of the game. Now a puck battle in the corner. Fort Garry will get it out. Kicked up to his own stick there by Sam Matani, and they'll get the puck deep. Matani giving chase, bumps into his guy down there, and they'll get it to the line but not out. Here's Tremblay at the right point for Fort Garry. Wrist shot didn't get through, sits in front of the net. The putback goes wide. And now the free puck over to the far boards. It'll be poked to the line. Good keep in there by Sloan Tremblay. Keeps it in for a second, but it'll be finally cleared to center by Fort Garry. We get a whistle after some contact there in the far boards at the blue line.
And we're going to get a penalty here coming up to the Fort Garry Twins in Sam Matani. And he'll be going off. I didn't quite catch the sign, but yeah, Fort Garry had some good pressure there. Some good defensive sticks there by Transcona to eliminate that second chance for Fort Garry later on in the play.
Here's a shot from the line wide to start that power play for Transcona. Power play is 4th in the league at 23.9%. Penalty kill for Fort Garry is actually 1st in the league at 84.8%. We're getting face off to the left side of Brendan Birch-Hayden. It's been sensational this year for Fort Garry. It's wrapped around the boards, but they can't get it out. One-timer deflects on that save. Birch-Hayden traffic in front, but he will cover up. Almost 5 minutes gone by in a scoreless tie here at Century Arena. Get a face-off to Birch-Hayden's right.
Aggressive attack to the net there by Transcona, getting some wax on Birch-Hayden, and he's been really good here early on, really calm in net, and that's what you want to see and like to see from your goaltender late here in the season.
Here at the right point is Matty Boonstra. Wrist shot deflects over top of the net, and now to play with Hudson Chamberlain in front. And yeah, I don't think you can really understate how much Boonstra is just huge on this team. He's 4th in points in the league. He's the first in points in the league in terms of non-members of the St. James Canucks, which maybe says more about the Canucks. But Boonstra, 61 points, incredible. That's 1.56 a game.
And for Transcona, this is a team that's lost some key pieces. Dylan Arnold not being back, and Nat Grunston and Smith retiring last season. But this is a team with good returning players left so far. They're getting healthier as this season goes along. And Boonstra, he's really been showcasing what he can do here in his later years in the MMJHL.
Slap shot deflected wide. Boonstra for the rebound. Fires it in a save by Birch Hayden. Skating the other way with the rebound. Here's Declan Bowden up to center ice. Over the line left side. Passed over the front of the net. Intended there for Ethan Gibson. Couldn't hit the mark. And it's controlled here by the Railer Express. Nice move to get away from pressure there from the captain, Jason Kotchin. Now a spill in the Fort Garry zone. Going to get another call here for tripping. With 45 seconds left on the first penalty, we're going to get another one.
And Jason Kotchin with some nice skating to maneuver out of the way of that incoming check by Fort Garry, and then Transcona continuing along in the zone, continuing to drive towards the net. Makes a move on the inside, I forget who it was, but draws a penalty, and Transcona now with a 5-on-3 for the next 45 seconds.
Yeah, so it's Aaron Voth who's going to sit down for Fort Garry as the puck comes to the blue line. Comes across. Here's a wrist shot that goes wide from Boonstra. Now at the right point, here's Conrad Solipa. Goes over to Boonstra at the left point. Pass to the side of the net. They try to jam away at it. And a drive is stopped. The rebound. Solipa, the wrist shot. Blocker save, Birch Hayden. Race for the puck on the boards. And the Twins get it out. Great job to take a hit to make a play there from Kai Parker. Got nailed, but he cleared the puck out to center. Now bringing it back in here is Solipa, the defenseman over the line right side. Into the right circle. Takes a look. Slowing it right down to get set up. 5-on-3 power plays. Here's Boonstra. A pass to the back door. The one-timer kind of fanned on it there. Another drive by Boonstra. Blocker save by Birch Hayden. Now in the left wing corner, it's Matthew Smith. The pass will leave the zone, and so the Railer Express have to regroup. Good power play to start here, though, for Transcona, Graham.
Yeah, we're seeing the skill on display there from Matty Boonstra, who just unloaded a shot recently and found number 13 Kotchin with a beautiful pass that he just fans on. But Transcona liking their puck movement here. So far, though, Birch Hayden up to the task.
Ronan White on the zone entry. Try to crash the net. The net comes off its moorings. He was bumped into there by Kai Parker. And he will be all right, getting up in that corner. 12:44 to play here in the first period. 35 seconds left in the power play.
Talking about playing with desperation right there from number 17, Ronan White. He drives to the net hard there, no fear in him. Doesn't look like the biggest guy out there either, Graham, so got to respect that.
Controlling the puck here is Caden Bruchansky. Now Ronan White brings it up. Here's Parker Jans, the zone entry, but the pass will leave the zone, and so they'll have to regroup. Now here's Bruchansky, pass up the left side. Good defensive play by Kai Parker to separate Jeremy Shadownew from the puck, and Parker clears to center. Brought back by Caden Bruchansky over the line right side. Good move around Cutter Helmanderis up to the right corner. Turns around, passes to the front. One-timer from in tight there by Michael Todoruk, and he'll be stopped by Birch Hayden. We'll get another face-off.
And
I don't think there's been a shot on goal down to our left so far, but Birch Hayden perfect so far.
Yeah, I think there might have been one or two earlier on, but for the most part, it's been all Transcona. They've been on the power play here on a 5-on-3 for the last little while, and it's coming to an end soon. So Fort Garry killing these penalties off. Big thanks going to Birch Hayden. Doing that, bad bounce in front of the net, though.
And he covers up under a lot of duress. Yeah, that's just luck right there. It kind of bounced out in front of him in the air. Able to pounce on it in the blue paint. So we'll get a face-off in the Fort Garry zone. For Transcona, they're going to bring out Noah Nardella and Connor Toth. And in for the face-off, it'll be Evan Dimitrov right across from Hal Menderes. Scramble for the puck off the draw. And the puck slips into the corner. With it is Sam Matani. And he'll chase out to center. Loses the puck in the feet of an opposing player, but he lays the body. Centering pass there from Pasechnikov will slip over to the near boards. And now Matani pinching in on the right wing. goes for the body instead of the puck. He lays his man out, but the puck gets behind him and goes all the way into the Fort Garry-Fort Rouge Twins end. Gardner sends it across for Pasechnikov. Back to Gardner, who comes to center. He's got Gibson on the left. Down the middle is Gardner. Wrist shot. Save there by Carson Fisher. By Justin Powers, pardon me. And a puck battle down in the near corner.
And for Garry, a lot of long shots so far from what we've seen. For the most part, right there, finally getting a shot a bit in closer. But for the most part, we haven't really seen much of them down there. So I think that establishing a good forecheck, a good cycle, and get some shots from the points is going to be huge for them.
Lucas DeGrave put the puck on net. Now we're going to get a line change as it'll be Lizotte taking the draw for Fort Garry. Declan Bowden to his right. And to his left is David Balshaw. Face-off control by the Railer Express. Get it to the line, but not out. Wrist shot from the right point there by Caden Henlon. Didn't get through. And another puck battle in the corner. Bowden had it for a second, having dug it out of there, but he'll be run into. Puck battle in the near corner now in the Transcona zone.
Bear with us, folks. It is tough to see along the boards here in Century Arena. So sometimes we might not say anything, but here's Transcona with the puck.
Trapko lost it in the Fort Garry zone, and now back comes Lizotte up the left side. Gets inside the zone. They're offside. Everybody's going to have to get out, and that'll leave lots of room for Conrad Solopa to make a play on it. Forward pass to Flex up to the line. Voth knocked it down, played back, and skated into the zone by Johannesson. But that's relatively short-lived as now back comes Balshaw. Into the right circle, the wrist shot bounces away from him. Good defensive play there from Austin Campbell. And the puck will roll into the near corner.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Balshaw maybe attack with more aggressiveness on that shot. A nice defensive play there, though, by the Transcona defenseman.
Halmanderis, Osterman, and Gilberto, the top line out there now for Fort Garry. Kai Parker's shot didn't get through. We're going to get a penalty here against Transcona.
And that means the fourth-ranked power play in the league for the Fort Garry Twins goes to work. And this is going to be a chance for them to gain some offensive momentum. They haven't had too much of it so far this period. It's been to the Transcona Railer Express, really, since the drop of the puck. But last few shifts, we've been seeing more and more pressure from the Twins in the Transcona end, so let's see if they can utilize this power play and create even more there.
Halmanderis and Gilberto stay out there, and then they put Sloan Trombley on the right side, and Osterman lined up as the right defenseman. The only actual defenseman out there is Sam Matani bringing the puck up, and they shoot it in. Giving chase on the right side, here is Osterman. Has it in the half wall. In a little deeper for Gilberto. Pass back towards Osterman, gets away from him. And all the way back down to the Fort Garry zone.
Speaking of Matani, he is an offensive defenseman, so a lot of offense out there for Fort Garry.
Matani over the line right side. Puts on the brakes. Takes a look. Pass toward the front. Bounces into the near corner. And it'll be sniped out of the zone there by Transcona. Minute 15 to go in the penalty. Osterman in behind his own net. The captain waiting there. Leading point getter on the team got 52. That's 133 a game through 39 contests. They'll drive it deep around behind the Transcona net. Puck battle in behind. Big hit there from Halmanderis. And the puck comes to the blue line. Here's Caden Hedlund. Try to get it back to Halmanderis. The pass missed. It's in behind the net. They get it to Osterman in the right corner. Up to Hedlund to the blue line. Back toward Osterman on the half wall. Pass to the middle. Good stick there to clear it out from Boonstra. And that puck goes all the way up to center.
And 2 nines out there. Osterman tried making a pass across, and the other 9 better there, and Matty Boonstra breaking it up.
Hedlund floating down the right side. Pass toward the middle. That one gets away from everybody. Now Boonstra slowly back up the right wing into the offensive zone. Wrist shot and a save by Birch Hayden. He'll hang on with 19 seconds to go in the power play for Fort Garry. Just under 8 minutes left to go in the first, no score. Here at Century Arena, more line changes from the penalty killers, as Boonstra will have a seat along with Hudson Chamberlain. Now Carter Johannesson will take the draw and lose it in the Fort Garry zone to Darian Medwick. They have the power play only for another 11 seconds, and they have to go all 200 feet out of their own zone. Balshaw's cross ice pass for Hedlund. Back to Balshaw. Takes a look out high. Pass to toward the side of the net. They get it on goal, but a save made there by Justin Powers. Get a face-off in the Railer Express zone.
The Twins getting in close there. It was a shot from Darian Medwick in close, but Justin Powers up to the task. And Powers last season, he's without, which made, I think, the best goaltending tandem in the league without Dylan Arnold this year. He's really had to try to pick up the slack. His numbers not too bad this season, but certainly a much better season last year.
Turnover forced by Eric Voth up ahead for Gibson on the left side. 3-on-2 here for Fort Garry. Toward the middle it goes. Wrist shot score. Klimchuk gets an assist. Fed it down to Hunter Livingstone, and he roofs it. 1-0 Fort Garry.
Tic-tac-toe there from Fort Garry and a beautiful pass and play.
Lucas DeGrave, pardon me. Lucas DeGrave with the goal.
Finished off by Lucas DeGrave as he tucks it just underneath the rooftop there in the net. And
14 goals on the year for DeGrave.
Right underneath the bars, I should say there, Graham. And DeGrave with his 14th on the season opens up the scoring for Fort Garry here against Transcona.
Kai Parker plays the puck ahead into the Transcona zone. Comes right back out to him, shoots it in again, and the teams will play catch here. Cleared out to center. Chased down there by Cochin, and the captain will advance it here up to Jackson Cyril. Wrist shot, deflected on goal, saved by Birch Hayden. Now in the left corner, it's Cochin again. Banks it to the blue line. Wrist shot there by Jacob Howell, and another save by Birch Hayden, who's been solid so far. 6:49 to go here in the first period. Get a face-off over to his right.
Transcona had a lot of pressure early, and they'll still be looking to pressure, of course, looking to play with that desperation moving forward. But Birch Hayden, his really good play so far. It's been a big reason why this game was scoreless leading up to that point. And, yeah, the Twins taking advantage of their opportunity there in the offensive zone, capitalizing on that beautiful pass and play with DeGray putting it rooftop under the bar. So Fort Garry's got to like how things are going for them so far in this game, even though they've been hemmed in for parts of it.
Face-off will be to Birch Hayden's right, and it'll be Carter Helmanderis to take the draw. Number 2 point getter on the team with 43. Now here's Pasechnikov with the puck. Greg Pasechnikov brings it to center. Pass over on the right and driven in deep by Helmanderis. Rolls around behind the Transcona net. Puck battle along the near side. Pasechnikov gets it in deeper. Moved up the left wing to the line, but not out. Good keep in there by Fort Garry. Here's Osterman in the right wing corner with the puck. Gets shoved off of it. Joining the fray and shooting and scoring. There is Matt Lizotte, number 5 on the year. Comes right into the play after Osterman was bumped off the puck. And he rifles it home. 2-0.
Good support there shown on the puck by Fort Garry. Player coming in Lizotte, and coming up for that support on Osterman and putting it past Justin Powers for a 2-0 lead for Fort Garry with 6:15 left here in this opening period. And Fort Garry starting to break that Transcona defense a bit here, Graham.
Off the draw, here's Pasechnikov with the puck again. Same guys out there for Fort Garry, but Pasechnikov chased after by Parker Jans will get the puck in behind the net. Driven around behind the goal there by Connor Stewart. Fort Garry gets the clear to center, and away goes Tremblay over the blue line. Tremblay into the right circle, backhander deflects high in the air. Glove down there by the goaltender Justin Powers, and we'll get a stop. 2-0 Fort Garry the lead. So it's the goal getters for the Twins will be Lucas DeGrave and then Matt Lizotte. Number 14 and number 5 on the year respectively.
Blocked there by Transcona. And Fort Garry here, Graham, they're looking to make it 2 in a row as they won yesterday against the St. Boniface Riels.
3-0 shutout in that one. Pasechnikov muscling his man, trying to get the puck away. They can't do it. Boonstra keeps it in, fires a wrist shot. Glove down by Birch Hayden. There was some mustard on that wrister from out high by Boonstra. We'll get a face-off in the Fort Garry zone again.
And Birch Hayden didn't even look like he flinched on that one. He stares it down through the distance that was in between him and Matty Boonstra and makes a good high glove save.
Battle behind the net, gets away from Voth, controlling it as Bowden, only for a second. Battle for the puck there with Connor Toth. Goes in deep to the zone. Big hit in there by Noah Nardella. Rolls in behind the net. Nardella bumped into the end wall there by Caden Hedlund. Battle for the puck on the near side. Balshaw's in there. Good steal, only for a second as it's cleared away after it was taken away from Nardella. Now behind his own net, Hedlund for Fort Garry. Clears it all the way to center. Deflected in deep by Balshaw. And that goes deep in behind the Transcona net. 2-0 Fort Garry, the lead here in the first period. Puck in the near corner. They'll battle for it down there. And now scooping it up and bringing it around is Nathan Bertansky. They get it to the line and out after they battle for it. Voth shoots it right back in and it'll go off on a line change.
Cam Hedlund there standing up the Transcona Railer Express at their blue line, sending a message there to Transcona late in this period.
Physical one here in the last couple minutes of the first. 4:11 to go in it. As the Twins will get it in deep and behind the Railer Express net. Sent around the boards there by Austin Campbell, and they'll get the puck out. They get as far as the blue line as Kai Parker turns the attack around, and the Railer Express will have to regroup inside their own blue line. The pass is picked off by Gardner. Two guys are way offside, so Gardner can only shoot it in as he was under duress. Parker causes a turnover only for a second. Scoop back up and brought in there by Bertansky. Wrist shot stopped by Birch Hayden, and they'll get it to the line but not out. Keep in there by Nathan McDonald. Now the puck battle in the corner. Livingston tried to kick at it as it came to Warden. Couldn't get a skate on it. And now they'll try the far side on the clear. Austin Campbell to keep in. Down for Jeremy Shadowneuf. But in possession now here is Josh Gardner. Clear it up to the red line, no further. Picked back up and brought ahead there by DeGrave. Bring it in is Gibson. DeGrave lost his stick, and that'll cause an offside.
And it is just going to be offside called on the play there. But, Birch Hayden continuing to look calm there in the net, steering traffic away into the corners. And for this Fort Garry Twins team, expecting them to continue to ride that momentum from their goaltender in this one.
Osterman shoots the puck in deep. Top line out there for Fort Garry. The puck along the far boards. They get it out of the zone to the Railer Express. Halmandaris back for Pasechnikov. Backpedaling in his own zone. The pass deflected and a turnover forced here by the Railer Express. Here's Matthew Smith. Lost it and Osterman comes back out the other way. The pass is stolen and away they come back in. Stepping up is Pasechnikov. Got the puck free only for a second. Centering pass. Halmandaris will clear that. And here's Solipa back at center.
Great play there by Osterman. I don't know if anyone noticed, but if he doesn't make that play, it probably goes to Cochin, and he has a wide open chance there on Birch Hayden.
Good pass over to Osterman. Up the left side into the zone. Wrist shot. Big save there by Powers. And now Osterman gets bumped into it along the boards, battling for the puck. 2-on-2 down there. Just under 2 to play here in the first. 2-0 for Fort Garry. Deflected all the way down the ice. That'll be icing on Transcona. Get a face-off in their zone.
It was a nice attempt by Todoruk to save the icing call potentially, but nothing doing. But speaking of sticks for Transcona, they've been doing a really good job of getting their sticks in lanes and being active with them and intercepting things, causing some turnovers here for Fort Garry.
Behind the net, Bowden tried to wrap it around. It'll be covered up by Powers. We'll get a face-off again, and now a game that's been pretty physical. We'll see a bit of discussion now next to Powers' net. Not much more. And we'll get a couple of new lines out there anyway. And it seems like Lizotte down there, who's got a goal in the game, not happy about something. I guess they wanted a penalty, and now some chirping from bench to bench on the opposite sides here at Century Arena. I think all pretty much directed towards Jason Cochin, the captain of the Railer Express.
Yeah, and just to add on that, Graham, a game we were supposed to air, we did it at Seven Oaks about 2 weeks back, and we were further away from the benches as I should say. In this arena, we're in more close quarters, so we can hear a bit more of those explicits.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to say exactly what was said. You get the pictures. Now Voth goes back for it in his own zone. Got a man right on him, and that'll force a turnover. Boonstra waits for it on the boards. Cleared to the line, but not out there by Medwick. Boonstra keeps the puck in, and they'll set up, battling for the puck behind the net. Comes over to the right point. Here's a wrist shot from Austin Campbell to flex wide, and pinching to keep the puck in there is Berchanski. Rolls it around in behind the net. Chamberlain on it. Got two guys on him, including Voth. And they'll battle for the puck. Here's Voth on it now. Wide open was Klimchuk. He'll come to center, and the pass to Medwick. Only got a piece of it behind the red line. Would have been icing if he got it further, but now a race for the puck in the Fort Garry zone. Only 33 seconds to go, and then Birch Hayden's stick was just completely separated from him there by Matty Boonstra. As now Boonstra runs into Medwick, at the blue line. That looked like a shoulder to the head if I ever seen one. Completely behind the play from Matty Boonstra.
Unbelievable.
And Boonstra's going to the box for sure. I don't think it would necessarily be for bumping into the goalie and knocking his stick out.
That is just, what are you doing, Matty Boonstra? Why do that? When your team is down especially, you take a pretty silly penalty. You let your emotions get the best of you.
No need for that. Medwick was not even close to the puck at center.
And you touch any part of the goaltender, no matter what, you flail his stick out of his hand, and you also give a shot afterwards. That's going to get the other team fired up.
Centering pass. They'll get it all the way down the ice here in the power play. It'll be 2 minutes to Boonstra. Only 8 seconds to go in the period, so you just got to keep the puck away from the opposition, really, here. As it'll be driven in deep by Darian Medwick. And he took a bit of a bump there from behind by Conrad Salpa. They're going to talk about it, but that's all that's going to happen. Medwick has a quick word with the referee, and that'll be it for the period. Well, that sets the stage for the final 40 minutes of this one. They're going to make Fort Garry wait before they come out. But anyway, through 20 minutes, an interesting one so far, Graham.
Yeah, very interesting, and I can't get over how much I disagree with what Matty Boonstra just did.
Yeah.
I mean, letting the emotions get the best of him there, I don't know why you do that, especially late in this period, and you get the other team fired up. But he's their best player. He's going to have to make up for it afterwards because this team's down 2-0. They need 1 point to clinch a playoff spot. They can get it done in the next game as well, more likely because they're already up by 3 in this matchup. But I think the Railers have been doing some good things with their sticks, getting some good shots on net. I think get a bit more traffic in front to get rebounds is going to be a key here moving forward, but Birch Hayden's been really calm and steady in the net, controlling rebounds really well, and Fort Garry's been capitalizing on their opportunities. They've been having some offensive zone time as things have gone along, so yeah, look for them to continue to capitalize and get good goaltending from their goaltender.
Lucas DeGrave is 14th, and Matt Lizotte is 5th of the year. 2-0 Fort Garry the lead, and they're going to have a power play for at least a minute 38 to start the second period, and we'll talk to you then. Back at Century Arena, it's the Fort Garry Fort Rouge Twins and the Transcona Railer Express. 2-0 Fort Garry through 20 minutes of play, and things got pretty interesting at the end of the first period. I'm Graham Sevier with Graham Forsyth at G-Show Productions. And, yeah, Graham, you might want to talk a bit about what we saw at the end of the first.
Yeah, so I talked about Matty Boonstra and how letting the emotions, he let him get away from him, but I just talked to video coach of the Twins, Mark Belanger, and he brought up that Darian Medwick, the guy who Boonstra hit, was the guy who injured the Transcona player the last time these two teams met, or one of the last 2 times these teams met, whenever the game was when it got postponed, and that's the game that's going to be replayed. So
yeah,
a bit of context there. Makes more sense now. Now that we got that context.
Yeah, it was a bump kind of in open ice. away from the play entirely. And as a result, this Fort Garry power play. The puck goes out of play. We'll get a face-off right in front of the Fort Garry bench. But on that sequence, Boonstra, who is the leading scorer on the club, went around behind Brendan Birch-Hayden, the goalie for Fort Garry, bumped his stick out of his hand, and I would say there's a bit of retaliation going on in general. There's a good move by Hal Menderes to keep the puck in. Into the left corner it goes. Beseshnikov around behind the net, bumped off the puck, and it's cleared along the boards. Hal Menderes will keep it alive. They'll have 40 seconds to play with it here, with a 5-on-4 man advantage. Giveaway and a clear. That'll go all the way down the ice there from Ronan White.
I think that was the problem with the Matty Boonstra thing, was just not the bump as much, but just taking the stick out of Birch Hayden's hands. Fort Garry, though, looking to score. They're looking to set up here on this power play to extend their lead to 3. Matani as well as Medwick.
Medwick's shot goes up and out of play. And then a couple of words between him and Parker Jans in the first minute and a half here of the second period. 12 seconds on the Fort Garry power play will set up to the left of regular Express goalie Justin Powers. And face-off will be between Darian Medwick and Hudson Chamberlain, who wins the draw. Around behind the net, here's Ronan White, and he'll send it up the far side all the way down. Out of the net to play it is Birch Hayden. And Fort Garry will set up as we're back to 5-on-5. Now from behind his own net, here's Hedlund with the puck for Fort Garry. The lead pass up the left wing. Medwick deflects it deep, and Powers out to play it behind his own net. He'll send it over for Conrad Solopun. He'll play it up the boards. Boonstra advances the puck and then got caught up with Medwick, who we were just talking about, the matchup between those two guys. And now back out of their own zone comes Fort Garry down the middle. Here's a wrist shot by Balshaw. Goes off the elbow of Powers into the corner. Balshaw puts it back in behind the Transcona net. Conrad Solopun sends it along the boards. Beseshnikov holds the blue line in toward the middle. A backhand shot. That one was stopped there by Powers on Josh Gardner. And Boonstra clears the puck ahead to center ice. Little no-look pass that goes to nobody exactly. Parker Jans chases it down on the right wing. Pass back to Boonstra. A little too hot, and it'll leave the zone. Shot right back in by Transcona. And here is Gardner with the puck in his own zone for Fort Garry. Cross-ice pass, and they'll move it up ahead. It goes off of Klimchuk and in to the zone, but now they're going to call that icing. Klimchuk was really close to the red line, and maybe I'm seeing it wrong. It just didn't look like icing from where I am, but again, I'm not on the ice.
The refs, of course, seen it differently. It'll be a face-off to the blocker side of Birch Hayden here, and Transcona. We'll see how long they can keep this a 2-0 game. Let's see if they can cut into that Fort Garry lead here. They're putting on the pressure here in the sequence.
Here's a pass ahead for Gibson. In toward the middle, it goes for Klimchuk. Back to Gibson, and a good pass, trying to cut his way to the net. And he lost the puck right between the pads of Justin Powers. I think he was trying to stuff it right in the 5-hole driving in there. Good job to get past Caden Berchansky.
He might have had him there, Graham, if he pulled it in tight to the backhand and was able to tuck it in on that glove hand side down low, but tried for the 5-hole. Powers up to the task.
Falling over there is Lucas DeGrave, who's got a goal in the game. Wanted a call, doesn't get it. Now DeGrave has the puck in the right wing corner, centers it off the skate of Ethan Gibson. Klimchuk battles to get it back there for the Twins. Parker jumps into the play, tried to fire a wrist shot, didn't get through, and it'll spray into the far boards. Here's Gibson, pass to DeGrave in the corner. Gibson got nailed after the play. Livingstone's wrist shot, that one goes wide. And the Railer Express are just all over the puck as they'll clear it off the glass to center, trying to get a 2-on-1. Coming in alone now, though, is Cochin, as there was a line change. Cochin got hit pretty good in that corner in the Fort Garry zone. The Railer Express work it toward the front of the net. Good steal there as Gibson had the puck in front of the goal. Stolen by Toth. Gets a shot away and a save by Birch Hayden. And now we got some wrestling on the end wall in behind the Twins net. And I think the tension in here is palpable. I can't even see who that is. I think it's Declan Bowden. It is, and he'll be escorted away from the fray there by the linesman. And it was Jason Cochin, the captain of the Transcona Railer Express, who just got nailed in the corner on the play. And they're both going to sit for 2.
Yeah, we're zooming in the best we can there to try to catch it, who was in the corner. But it is, of
Bowden
course,
and Caution.
Bowden and Jason Caution, team captain for the Railer Express. And, yeah, this game has had no shortage of chippiness so far. We've had a lot of rough stuff, chippy stuff after the plays, as we just saw. And it's going to be two coincidentals, so 5-on-5 here, Graham.
They're still yapping away in the penalty boxes. Both penalty boxes are right next to each other, next to the Fort Garry bench. And you could hear it. It was about 15 guys against 1. And now both guys in the box are standing and talking to each other, as it'll be moved into the zone by Fort Garry. There's a hockey game, by the way, going on amongst all this. Here's Belshot center. Lost it. It'll be shot in nonetheless deep there by Fort Garry. That was Matt Lizotte who has a goal. And the Railer Express chip it to center. Big race for the puck inside the Fort Garry zone. Chipped away by Matani. Stays inside the blue line. Long wristed wide of the net there. I think that was Nathan Cockle. Net comes off as Birch Hayden kind of kicked it away off its mooring. He was looking to position himself as the puck was moving from his right to his left, and the net comes off its moorings. Going to face off in the Fort Garry zone.
And at the penalty box, Jason Caution finally taking a seat as
face off to Birch Hayden's left. Controlled there by Transcona. It'll be rolled around behind the net to the near side. Gilberto took a big check in the near corner, gets it to center, and Osterman giving chase there for Fort Garry, but it's controlled and cleared there by Ronan White. Big hit along the far boards there by Eric Voth on Kyle Chopko. Fort Garry out of their own zone. Helamandaris off on the right side. Shoot in there from Gilberto, and it goes all the way around behind the Transcona net. It's White who plays it back behind his own net for Conrad Salopa. Up the right wing, cleared by Chapko. They'll get it outside the line. And now a puck battle along the far boards. Coming away with that is Transcona. The pass goes to Chapko over the line down the middle. Lost it behind him. Coming up is Shadowneuf. The shot goes wide into the corner. Shadowneuf got knocked down on the play. And now away comes Voth. Got checked off the puck, but coming up for it is Helamandaris. Drives it into the right wing corner for Fort Garry. Out of the net to play it there is Powers. Can't get it out of the zone as Osterman holds it in. He's got 4 guys right near him in blue jerseys, so he can't do much with it. And it'll be cleared down the ice there by Chamberlain. Around behind the net, Chamberlain got bumped into, gets the puck to the front of the Fort Garry net. It bounces away there from Parker Jans. Jans with the puck now for Chamberlain in the right corner. On the ice there with Boonstra. Here's a wrist shot from the line wide. In behind Birch Hayden is the puck, and it'll be cleared by Kai Parker to the line but not out. They'll battle for the puck. It's free inside the Fort Garry zone, but it'll be pushed ahead there by Darian Medwick. Into the zone is Klimchuk. Try to get it back to Medwick. He'll have to fight for it there against Parker Jans, and he'll send the puck across. Berchanski's lead pass goes off of Boonstra deep into the Fort Garry zone, and back goes Matani on it. 2-0 Fort Garry the lead, 13:20 to play here in the period. Number 2 here at Century Arena. Driven in deep there by Fort Garry's Josh Gardner, and they'll battle for the puck in deep. Comes right off to Parker Jans, plays it back in behind his own net. And there's Austin Campbell. Jacob Howell. Over to Campbell, he'll clear the puck to center. Knocked down by Matani, back in down the middle. Matani into the left circle, wrist shot. That one goes off of Power and into the corner. Powers, pardon me. Centering feed goes off of Gardner into the corner. Down there is Gibson battling for Fort Garry. Sends it along the boards. Kept in at the left point there by DeGrave. Fires it down deep down the wall. Gardner has it in the left side. Working on him there is Austin Campbell, the defenseman. Been out there for at least 45 seconds. 2-on-2 battle down in the corner in the Transcona zone. Campbell sends it round behind his own net. And now away come the Railer Express. Cleared out of the zone there by Jacob Howell. Beseshnikov caught at edge as he passed it over to his partner. Puck comes back to him in front of the net. Tried to get it to DeGrave. The pass is cut off there by Todoruk. And he has the puck in the left corner. Tried to center. Gardner knocks that away. Him and Carter Johnston bump into each other and fall down. Meanwhile, back comes Gibson into the zone for Fort Garry. Passed it to Grave in the middle. Is cut off and cleared out of the zone there almost by Transcona. Good job by Gardner fighting to keep it in. They'll clear it all the way down the ice, and this will be, was called icing. They're going to say Fort Garry didn't get back quick enough. And the Twins clear the puck to center.
And I'm going to chime in here to give you a little break here to talk, Graham, but there hasn't been too much established zone time for that amount of time throughout the last whistle to whenever the next one is coming up. The Twins probably had the longest period of zone time here recently where they got a few shots on net, but other than that, it's been more so these two teams trying to establish themselves in the zone and try to find that offense.
Ronan White sends it all the way out to center. And Noah Nardella clears the puck in. Back on it there is Livingstone. Gives it away. It's centered. They're looking for Nardella in front of the net, but it's cut off by Fort Garry. Get it to the line, but not out. Kept in by Bruchansky. Sends it down the boards in a puck battle along the near side. Bruchansky has it again at the point. Down it goes for Dimitrov. Tried to center, and it's cut off, and away go the Twins. Lead pass for Halmandaris goes off of Bruchansky. And Transcona controls. Campbell's lead pass into the zone. Klimchuk slaps it back out of there. And that'll go all the way down into the Transcona zone. Up for it there on right wing is Medowick. Two guys working on him, and they'll clear all the way out to center, and Voth will go back on it. No doubt that there's not very much zone time. They got it out of the zone there, and so that's offside at the Fort Garry line. 2-0 Fort Garry the lead.
Yeah, there just hasn't been that much zone time from like the last whistle to this one, the most recent whistle that we got here in the last like 5 minutes. So yeah, it's been a lot of dumps and chases. I'd like to see these teams start to carry it a bit more, try to find that, and one of their skill guys to step up, like an Owen Osterman for Fort Garry, or Matty Boonstra, Jason Cochin, now that he's out of the box for Transcona.
Benches are full again. The major penalties are over. Now the puck is Bruchansky. Clears it, and it'll go up out of play, I think. Just 2 seconds past the halfway point of this one here in the second. 2-0 Twins the lead. And the faceoff will be down in the Transcona zone to the right of Powers.
Just seems for Transcona they're trying to dump it out of the zone more so than carry it. Doing a chip off of the glass isn't a bad idea, but we've seen they haven't had too much success with that. So try to change it up, and Matty Boonstra might look to do things right here down the left side.
Boonstra's pass deflects into the right corner. Jans is up there for it. Tried to send it back to his defenseman. Pass a little off the mark of Nathan Bruchansky, and it goes all the way down. Powers out of the net to play it. Clears it up the board. Sloan Tremblay has it at the red line. His pass is picked off, and away goes Transcona into the zone. Parker Jans down the left wing. Lost it, and it'll be controlled here by the Twins. A pass up the middle goes to Sloan Tremblay, and ahead for Osterman. Sidesteps one man. One-on-one into the zone. A wrist shot goes off the defenseman. Solopod into the corner. Osterman has it again. Wraparound try, stopped by Powers, and Salopa shoves him away. Now Pasechnikov in the left corner gets it back to the point. Wrist shot deflected wide from Pasechnikov, and he'll send it down to Halamandaris. Got their names confused. Apologies for that, as now Halamandaris gets brought down to the ice. Got 3 Transcona guys digging for the puck underneath Pasechnikov. Pass is cut off by Matani, but his pocket is picked there by Todoruk, who got nailed by Matani into the boards. Osterman ahead for Gilberto on left wing. Back to Owen Osterman. Goes off his stick. Controlled here by Transcona. And now Solopa will move it up the left wing side. Pace a little faster in the last couple minutes with 8:30 to go here in period number 2. Osterman into war the middle for Halamandaris. Over the line down the middle, 3-on-2. Halamandaris over to the right. Pass towards the middle is picked off and cleared out of there by McDonald to the line, but not out. A drive by Matani goes high. And is that on top of the net?
I think it's not on top.
Yeah, it is.
It is on top of the net. I guess not like on the very top, but
it's on top of the back of the net.
It's on top of the back of the net. There we go. That we got that figured out. But You know who has it figured out during this last shift was Owen Osterman, man. He makes Ronan White burn a tire there earlier on in the sequence, gets a shot, gets his own rebound, wrap around. We see the physical play from him, and yeah, we're seeing what this Twins team can do when they carried it in and established like they did. They get more chances on net, resulting in more scoring chances.
It's offside at the Transcona line, and that's where we'll have the face-off. It'll be Gardner against Carter Jonathan. 23 points on the year for him. Todoruk behind his own net. Sends it along the boards. Knocked down there by Gardner. Battling for the puck. Gibson in there too. And the puck is in the feet of Johannesson. I absolutely mispronounced his name the first time. They'll move the puck into the Transcona zone. Cleared up the near side. Kai Parker at the red line. Was in the fray. DeGrave joins it, shoots it in deep. And now back on it for Transcona is Austin Campbell behind his own net. He got bumped. It comes along the boards. DeGrave keeping it alive there for Garry. It comes to Gibson, walks his way toward the middle. Wrist shot deflects up out of play because of the stick of Caden Berchanski. And we'll get a face-off, I believe, outside the zone. Inside the zone, rather. Both teams making wholesale line changes.
And if there has been one thing that Transcona has been doing good today, it's getting sticks on Twins players. And we saw it earlier on in like one of the most recent shifts when I believe it was White gets a good stick on Matani to disrupt him with things there. And yeah, they've been forcing a lot of things to go awry at points for the Twins with their shot selection.
And that really impacts zone time. Doesn't stay on either end too long. Caden Henlon takes it a kind of old-fashioned hip check, and then a couple cross checks exchanged between him and Bartecki. Bartecki, I believe is how you'd say that. I apologize. Puck is at center ice, and unable to get it past the red line is Klimchuk. His pocket's picked, and it's shot in deep there by Transcona. Floats along the boards in the Fort Garry zone. Banked out to center. And back on it there for Transcona. Steal there on the far side by Balshaw. Battle for the puck. Clear it to the line, not out. Good keep in. Pasechnikov's wrist shot. Stopped by Powers, and we'll get a face-off in the Transcona zone with 6:10 on the clock here in the second. 2-0 Fort Garry the lead.
And a turnover there caused by the good forecheck of the Fort Garry forechecker, and the Twins defenseman didn't quite catch who it was, but gets a shot on net that Powers holds off from long range.
Puck sits right at the Transcona blue line, just outside of it, and it'll be skated up and shot in there by Kyle Toth. That puck is out of play. 5:59 to go here in the period now. Get a face-off right at the Transcona blue line. It's Lucas DeGrave and Matt Lizotte, the goal scorers for the Twins. Gibson has an assist with Klimchuk on the first one. Osterman has an assist on the second one. Puck is beside Powers. Cleared up the near side by Solopod to the line but not out. Battle for the puck in open ice. Balshaw kind of tackled somebody, and now we got a bit of tension. They're both going to go, I think. I think it's going to be Ronan White and Balshaw both going. Balshaw kind of had his arms around him for sure.
Yeah.
And Ronan White is going to talk to the referee about this. But they're both going to go. And so it'll be 4-on-4.
It was clear it was on Balshaw. I guess the refs felt that there was some retaliation back.
Well, it didn't start right at the when White hit the ice for sure. There was definitely contact before that. The more obvious call is the one on Balshaw.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The refs seen both sides of that and calling coincidentals. But we stay at 5-on-5 here with just over 5 minutes remaining in the Second period, 2-0 Twins.
Yeah, coincidental. So 5-on-5. Puck goes deep into the Fort Garry zone, and now back on it there is Kai Parker. He gets checked. A lot of finished checks in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really physical game. It's been a spirited game by both sides, and we've seen a lot of chirping happening. We've heard a lot of chirping happening. Not sure if the viewers at home can, though.
Declan Bowden shoots the puck in for Fort Garry. Back on it there is Bruchansky. Pass up the left wing side. Stepping into that is Hedlund. He'll drive it right back into the zone. Having trouble with it there was Austin Campbell. It was up kind of in his equipment. Sent around behind the net there by Bruchansky. And he'll get it back on a bounce. Pass up the left wing side up as far as the red line. Todoruk shoots it in. Now a battle for the puck in open ice in the Fort Garry zone. Todoruk up for it in the left wing corner. There for Transcona. And a bit of contact on the near side. I think the puck went up out of play. And it looks like Caden Hedlund might be being escorted to the box here.
And I'm trying to catch who that was.
And he's having a chat with the linesman. Hedlund's going to sit. I haven't seen a signal regarding what the call is.
You know what, though? It was Todoruk who draws that penalty, and really great job by him of not rushing things when he gets a pass near his red line to delay and go cross ice to create a good zone entry opportunity for his team, and then that leads to the penalty drawn in Transcona on a power play.
Klimchuk clears it all the way out for Fort Garry. But, yeah, so it'll be a power play for Transcona. Birch Hayden is perfect on 11 shots so far as they'll try to, we won't say the word, but try to keep it going. Now the puck in the corner in the Fort Garry zone. Moved toward the blue line there by Chamberlain. In the middle of the line is Solipa. He's got pressure on him. The puck is bouncing too. He gets a shoulder into him, but they keep the puck in. Jason Cochin, wrist shot, score! And that'll cut the lead in half. 2-1 Fort Garry. The wrist shot, I think, might have been deflected in front. We'll see who they give it to. But leading the handshake line is the captain, Cochin.
Good work there on the power play by Transcona, moving it around up high, and then the puck gets to Jason Cochin. He makes some moves up high, puts a low shot on net that might have been deflected, but looks like it could have been his as well. That beats Birch Hayden for the first one tonight, as the lead is now 2-1 for Fort Garry.
We'll see what that does to the momentum. Here's Bruchansky into the zone. A wrist shot goes high out of play after it was deflected by Livingstone. 3.5 to play here in the period.
So now if you're Fort Garry, you haven't had a bunch of zone time established in this period, except for in some instances, like when Osterman carried it in earlier on. Now the lead is cut down to 1, and Transcona's in your zone some more. You gotta finish this period strong here with 3:25 remaining.
Round behind the Fort Garry net, centering pass. Evades everybody. Now Bruchansky at the right point, keeps it in for Transcona. Pass down to the corner. Getting roughed up down there was McDonald, and the puck slips into the near corner. Battle for it. Controlling it there is Kai Parker as they battle away down low. Puck goes to the front. Trying to one-time it there was McDonald, but the puck slips away from him into the corner. And Livingstone behind his own net. Round for Parker. Move it up the near side. They can't get it out over here. And now trying to drive his way toward the net. There was Campbell. Got bumped away from it. In behind it goes. McDonald sends it along the boards. On the right wing side now here's Bruchansky. In from the blue line. Tried to center it. Falling away from the puck there was Chapko. Fort Garry's just relentless on the chirping from the bench. Now it comes back to the line. A wrist shot. Blockered away there from Birch Hayden. I think he got mostly stick on that actually as the puck is down in the near corner. Centering pass. Evades everybody, and it'll go all the way down into the Transcona zone. They're all over him here is Transcona. Solipa's pass up the left wing. Fed back the other way there by Boonstra. Controlled by Gibson, and he'll shoot the puck in there for Fort Garry. DeGrave gives chase in the right wing corner. It gets away from him, and the pass comes to Boonstra, who comes to center. 3-on-2 here for Transcona into the zone. Boonstra's pass goes off the back skate of the recipient. Boonstra gets it across, and that's Hudson Chamberlain scoring from the left wing. Tie game at 2 here in the second period.
And there's a tie game, and off the rush, this is where it starts. Fort Garry ends up losing possession. They got caught just behind Transcona as they're going up ice, and Boonstra has it, tries feeding it across at first. It gets disrupted, but good job by him not giving up on it, following up, and getting that a pass to Hudson Chamberlain, who puts it in short side on the blocker hand side of Birch Hayden Lowe to tie this game up at 2 apiece.
17th goal of the year for Hudson Chamberlain. He's got 36 points. And now they'll get the puck in behind the Transcona net. Thrown around the boards there by Justin Powers. And now here's Boonstra. Back in behind his own net. Got 2 guys on him. And Tremblay with the puck now. Backhander towards the net from the side. And a save by Powers. And now we got some shoving right in front of Powers. And Transcona ain't going to like that. Powers just gave a blocker to Medwick.
And look who's in the middle of it is Medwick, and we brought him up before, given the context of what happened in that game. We don't know exactly what happened, but it definitely did leave a
Keep going. So discussion continues, but in any case, get a face-off in the Transcona zone. Tie game at 2. Completely different game in this one than compared to what it was at the start of this period. Coming out of his own zone here is Todoruk up left wing. Cuts in towards the middle. Lost a handle on it. Clearing it forward there is Eric Voth. They don't get it out of the zone. Battle for the puck. Osterman pushes it up the left wing side. Gets as far as the Transcona line, and he's shoved off the puck there by Berchansky. Big hit down in the corner, and that was Nick Gilberto, I think. And that's not what you want to see, is the player who was hit was down, and that's going to be caution. He gets up under his own strength right away, and that's a much better sign than what you saw a couple minutes ago, or a couple seconds ago.
That was number 18, Nick Gilberto.
Yeah.
Who ended up taking the ends up taking the penalty, and now the Transcona power play, who ranks 4th in the league, will get a chance to go to work with
Minute 8.
1:08 remaining.
Yeah. Face-off will be to the left of Birch Hayden. Peseshnikov in the corner, lost it, and they'll get it back to the blue line as they set up on the power play to the Railer Express. Looking to break the tie they've created here in the period. Good save by Birch Hayden on a slapper from Conrad Salpa. Will clear it all the way down. Salpa back in behind his own net. 50 seconds to go here in the second period, and he'll come through the middle. Pass it up the left wing side for Boonstra, and he'll move the puck into the zone. Peseshnikov back on it, clears it all the way down here on the penalty kill, and Powers will come out to play it. So the quarterback here on the Transcona power play, bringing the puck up to center. Over to Boonstra on the left wing. Pass deflected right into the zone. Jumping all over it there is Todoruk. They'll get it into the left corner. Battle for the puck down in the near corner. Cleared all the way out by Fort Garry. And Sullipa back on it with Halamandaris giving chase in the corner. Sullipa turns around. Hit there by Halamandaris. Coming up there was Gardner, but he doesn't get a stick on it. Sullipa passes it ahead, and now Boonstra couldn't get by Matani. Puck goes into the corner, and a big hit down there, and that'll result in some pushing and shoving. Everybody in there at the end of the period. And being brought away right away is Matani by a linesman. He was going to bring him to the penalty box. It won't matter because there's no time left here in the period. Both benches are just going nuts right now. And didn't really get a great view of what happened down into the corner with Matani, but Owen Osterman's going to come talk about it with the referee. But the Transcona bench is not a fan of what happened down there. I don't think anyone was hurt in any way, but both benches just going nuts, Transcona is going to go to the dressing room here at the end of the period, but like a crazy sequence.
Yeah, and the refs holding off not Transcona, but Fort Garry before they go off to keep things more civil here, because we don't want things to get too out of hand before this one ends. But yeah, we're going to have, if we can zoom in on the screen here, a 5-minute power play coming up.
To the visitors, that's Transcona.
Or would that mean that
Penalty, pardon me.
Yeah,
that's
the
going to be a
Twins-
power
the
play
Twins
for the
would get it.
Twins. Pardon
So
me.
The Twins are going to be on a 5-on-4 for 4 minutes
Well,
and 9 seconds.
They're giving the Twins a 2-minute penalty also.
Given the,
We'll
okay,
probably
so
be able to
2-minute
see
penalty
it
as well.
online and tell you at the start of the third. But right now it's Caution, or Solipa and Osterman chatting with the officials. There are only 2 guys left on the ice right now as Birch Hayden makes his way off. But you can't really describe the amount of tension that's going to be between these 2 teams here in the third period. And what you'd rather than more injuries like what we've seen in each of the last 2 games between these teams. The former is going to actually be resumed on Tuesday night. But you want to just see good hockey at this point, and that is what tension can bring you. So we'll see what happens in the third period. It's a 2-2 tie through 40 minutes here at Century Arena. We'll talk to you for the third period. Here we go, third period here at Century Arena. My name is Graham Sevier with Graham Forsyth. It's the Regular Express and the Twins here for the third period of MMJHL hockey. In a game that's been very contentious. It was 2-0, and then now it's 2-2. The teams are going to play 3-on-3 to start the third period here. And we'll explain to you all the different penalties that have been assessed after a skirmish at the end of the second period. Puck is in the Fort Garry zone for now. Comes over on the left side. Wrist shot deflected just wide of the net. Rebound slips past Birch Hayden into the corner. The goaltender for Fort Garry. Now out high for Transcona. It's Ronan White. Into the corner it goes. Trying to center with Solipa, but it bounces away into the corner. Solipa with it again. Back to the blue line. Caution is shot. That one goes wide. Caution had a scary sequence where he was knocked to the ice and stayed there for a minute in the second. Block shot there by Medwick.
And Fort Garry not getting aggressive here. They can't. They might be in trouble if they do, and doing a good job of staying composed and staying in their lanes and blocking.
Lazat comes out of the box and forces a steal. Medwick shoots and scores! Medwick from the left circle. Wrist shot. Gets through Justin Powers.
And
right as they kill the penalty.
A shot from Medwick as that penalty was expiring, as he comes down, and it's not from the closest on Powers. It gets by him, though, goes right in between his glove and his left pad. And the Twins with an upcoming lengthy power play. 3 minutes it's going to be with a 1-goal lead back at 3-2, or 4-2.
That's Medwick's third goal. Third goal. 9th of the year. There's another one. 4-2 now for Fort Garry. And it's David Belshaw. Goal number 11 on the year for him. What a quick turnaround here for Fort Garry to start the third period. It's a 2-goal lead.
And I guess the scorekeeper was
now it's 4-2. Yeah.
Was telling the future, because he put up 4-2 early on. But yeah, Belshaw showcasing his shot and putting it up on or through Justin Powers on that to make it 4-2. In all honesty, Graham, I didn't even see it, to be honest. I was too busy figuring out why the score was the way it was. But yeah, we're at a 4-2 game now with 18:31 remaining, and still 31 seconds away.
Now,
from that
talking about all the penalties, Jason Caution and Declan Bowden's penalties are the only ones that are on the website assessed at the end of the period. Now we have more. Matty Boonstra was given 5 minutes at the end of the period for a high hit. He was also given a game misconduct, and then Sam Matani was given 2 for roughing after the whistle. And so the penalty to Boonstra has 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in it as play continues on.
And that's a blow to the Transcona Railer Express, missing their best player for the rest of the game.
Sam Matani's free from the box now, so it's a... Now, Fort Garry gonna come out from right to left. They got 4 aside on the ice right now. But there's a penalty up on the board for the visitors. Pardon me, it's 5-on-4 for Fort Garry, so it is a power play for another 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Being brought to the ice there was Tremblay. Gets it back to the point for Matani. A wrist shot. That one stopped by Powers. Rebound cleared off the glass, and they'll get it out of the zone. Matani fighting to keep the puck away from a couple of oncoming guys in blue jerseys. Matani drives it in, gets shoved, and he'll watch as it goes all the way around behind the net. Coming up with it on right wing here for Transcona was Parker Jans.
Jans
short-handed.
With a nice rush there, getting a shot on Birch Hayden. But what about Matani there earlier on in the sequence, stick handling in a phone booth to get by the Transcona player?
Breakaway pass. Here's Johannesson. Save made by Birch Hayden. And he'll hang on for a face-off in the Fort Garry zone.
And Johannesson looking like he was trying to tuck it in 5-hole there, perhaps. It looks like he didn't get exactly what he wanted out of that. Didn't look like he had the best control once he got the puck coming into the zone off the boards. But, yeah, this game remains 4-2 with 1:40 left on the Twins power play.
If that pass went right to him, it would have been a completely different story. Would have had a breakaway right down the middle of the ice. Here's David Balshaw over the blue line for Fort Garry. In towards the middle it goes. Hedlund has a guy dive at him. Keeps with the puck into the right corner. Swoops around behind the net. Drops it off. And here's Matani Hedlund with the puck. Over on the left wing. Wrist shot goes wide. It gets by Lizotte and out of the zone, so Hedlund will go back for it. All the way back into his own end. Pass up the right side. Medwick hits the line. Gardner's going down the middle. Medwick's got a guy on him. He gets it back to the blue line, and Hedlund makes his way towards the middle. Low wrist shot. Off the stick of Powers and up out of play. 4-2, the lead for the home side after a couple of quick strikes to start the third period for Fort Garry. The goals in the third period, as we'll see if they've been posted yet. They have not.
And Hedlund there with the shot from the point. He goes to the middle, drawing action there. Had Medwick opened on the right face-off circle, but decided to put it low and get in the stoppage there.
So 2 goals in the first for Fort Garry, 2 goals in the second for Transcona, and 2 goals in the third for Fort Garry. We've got 15:43 left to go in the frame. And another 39 seconds left on the Fort Garry power play. Tremblay gets it back out. A wrist shot. Deflected wide from Osterman. Comes right back to him at the right point. Osterman, one-timer there from Hellemanderis, and it's out of play.
Nice feed there from Osterman to find, I believe it was Hellemanderis who took the shot?
Yeah, on the left wing.
Hellemanderis missing on it, though, as it goes into the netting. And we'll have a face-off just outside the Transcona zone near their bench.
Face-off will be right outside the Transcona blue line. They'll advance it after winning the draw. I'm going to say that was won by Nardella, but he flipped it forward. You can see why guys will often draw it back, as it results in a Fort Garry possession, and they'll get some zone time here before it's slapped up ahead there to Johannesson. Gets around Osterman at the red line, poked away, and it goes right to Gilberto on right wing. 3-on-2 into the zone they come. Back to Osterman in the middle. A wrist shot. That one goes wide. And up for it in the left corner, there is Hellemanderis to Gilberto behind the net. Gilberto gives it off to Osterman, and the one-timer goes out of play. And we'll get a face-off in the Transcona zone. Back to 5-on-5.
Fort Garry had some good looks on that power play, but for the most part, Transcona doing a good job of standing their ground and staying in there, keeping this a 2-goal game only. Things could have gotten way worse based off of how this period started, but Transcona, without Matty Boonstra, that's definitely a blow, but they still got some good players out here like a Jason Cochin who will be looking to get them back into this one using his energy and his skills.
Lucas DeGrave dumps it in. He's got a goal in this one. They'll battle for the puck in the corner. Jumps over the stick of Gibson, and he'll give chase. He'll clear it out of the zone there from Nathan Bartecki. And it goes right down on Birch Hayden. He'll hang on. 4-2 the lead for Fort Garry with 14:26 to go here in the third period.
Well, we've had the pleasure to watch Birch Hayden 3 times now, and every time we've watched him, he's looked steady and really confident out there. And, you know, the Twins, they've been having their struggles as of late, but this team, one positive has to be Birch Hayden night in and night out.
Can't get it out of the zone. A shot there from the left point. Bartecki goes wide. Fort Garry will advance it to center. Collision there in the neutral zone. The puck goes to Kai Parker, and he'll drive it in from the red line there for Fort Garry. Rattles around behind the net. Gibson up on the left wing. They'll battle for the puck along the near boards. It's cleared out to center there by Transcona, and it's controlled there by Kai Parker at his own blue line. Over to Eric Voth, who passes it ahead to Gardner, who turns away from the pressure, and he'll levitate it up to the red line. Knocked down there for a second. He'll shoot the puck in. It was Noah Nardella who turned it around, and now Parker back in his own end. Up ahead on the right side, getting the puck up out of his feet there is Declan Bowden. Gets it to the line and out. Brought back in by the Railer Express offside. So we're going to face off right outside the Fort Garry blue line.
It didn't look like that one went out. I guess it did. The refs having a better look than I do, of course.
Oh.
But, yeah, Transcona, man, throughout this game, it's just that zone time hasn't been there compared to how they started things out. They've been having more and more trouble to establish it, and I think that that's going to be costly moving forward if they can't figure out a way to get more established zone time. Maybe it starts here, but
they can't get a clear. Ball shot couldn't get it past Matthew Smith. And now they'll battle for the puck in the corner. Comes out to the line. Here's Solpa, wrist shot. Comes right back to him, and he fires it. I'm not sure if Birch Hayden made the save or it went up and out of play. I think it's out. Either way, I think we're going to get a face-off in the Fort Garry zone.
well, there we go, Graham. We see there's going to be a penalty coming up here.
Yeah,
actually.
Declan Bowden's going to be brought to the penalty box.
But there we go. We see the more established zone time from this Transcona team. They work a D-to-D and a really nice silky move cut to the inside by Conrad Solapa, who I think ends up drawing that penalty. And, yeah, shot towards the net. I think Birch Hayden saved it like you said. But Transcona, with 13:01 remaining, that fourth-ranked power play, let's see what it can do here late in the game.
Down by 2 are the Railer Express. Solapa's at the blue line. Watched by Klimchuk. He throws it around behind the net. The puck bounces into the near corner, and it'll be cleared all the way down the ice there by Sloan Tremblay. Powers the goaltender, gives it off to Solapa, and he'll stand in behind his own net. Watched by Klimchuk. Pass up the left wing, and it'll be skated out to center there by Jason Cochin. Pass up the right wing side, and in comes Ronan White. The pass is taken away and sent forward. Here's Tremblay now. Over the blue line down the left side. Trying to cut in towards the middle. Lost it in the feet of Solapa. The puck goes into the board. Solapa's on it there, and he'll chip it back in behind his own net. And here's Ronan White. Coming up to center. Pass up the right side, and into the zone they come. Matthew Smith, the pass toward the middle, is stolen by Sam Matani, and he'll bounce it down the middle and out of the zone.
Good kill so far here for the Fort Garry Twins, the first ranked here in the league, and you can tell why. Their details are really good. It seems like they don't really give teams time to establish as well.
Jeremy Shadowneuf chasing the puck there in the Fort Garry zone. It's controlled by Parker Jans in the right corner. Passes to Bruchansky, and he tried to get it over on the left for Austin Campbell. But the puck goes off the boards and out to center, so Campbell goes back for it. Chased after by Medwick, all the way back to his own zone. The pass is stolen by Pasechnikov at the red line, and he'll drive it right back in.
Pressure in all areas of the ice right now, Graham. Nice pressure there by Darian Medwick earlier on in the sequence.
Over the line there for Transcona comes Todoruk up the left wing. Moves it in behind the net. Slapped back out of there to the line, but not out from Hunter Livingstone. Puck comes over here on right wing for Bruchansky, and he'll move it behind the net. Livingstone slaps it along the boards. Knocked down on left wing there by Todoruk. And it'll be cleared forward there by Kai Parker. And now there's going to be a penalty for sure. It's going to be a trip on Gilberto. He's going to sit down in the penalty box. And someone from the bench was really giving it to the referee after that. Being told it's Brent Murray.
Yeah, Brent Murray, he was not happy with the call there, Graham. The ref did put up his arm a split second late. It looked like he took a bit of time to think about it. And yeah, Brent was not happy about it. We cannot repeat what he said here on the broadcast. Maybe you guys could hear some of it in the background noise, but yeah, I think Brent's going to soak this one, and the team's going to have to pay for it here as the ref throws out the assistant coach and Brent Murray.
Oh yeah, no, there was no doubt. You can't deal with that. So, get a face-off in the Fort Garry zone.
You know,
it'll be a 5-on-3 for 6 seconds.
This Fort Garry Twins team, though, like, we've seen it, and every time we come out, it seems to be a strength. It is that penalty kill and their details and how they get in the shot blocking lanes. And they were having some trouble clearing it down, but, you know, other than that, this team's been really aggressive, and they've had some successful clears as we've seen throughout this penalty kill. And Transcona, even though they're lower in the standings, they have a 4th-ranked power play, and they got some good players on this power play. One player I'm really interested to see in what he's going to do for the remainder of this game, especially with Boone Stroud, is second leading point getter on the team in Matt Smith. Seems like you haven't really called his name a lot today, and that's been one of the top players in the league this year when it comes to points.
Still no word on the goal getters in the third period. The 2 early strikes for Fort Garry that gave him a 4-2 lead here in this period. And a very brief 5-on-3. Won't even see Transcona touch the puck in the offensive zone. They'll clear it to center. But now here's another 5-on-4 developing as Transcona going to set up in the offensive zone. Around behind the net. Wraparound attempt there by Chamberlain. Couldn't get it to go. And now the blue line in the middle is Solipa. Pass over on the left. It's Cochin. It was poked away from him, but Cochin picks it back up. Gets it over on the right for Ronan White. The wrist shot deflects round and behind the net, and Chamberlain's on it there. Over to White on the right wing. Back over to the other side. Solipa, slap shot, and that's off the post. Into the left corner it goes, and controlled there by Solipa. Out to the blue line. Ronan White. Over on the right side it goes there for Cochin. Back over to Solipa on the left wing. Side of the net it goes. Centering feed. Will go nowhere, and it'll leave the zone. That pass was from Matthew
look
Smith.
There in front for Transcona. They just can't get that pass to connect. It was just a bit off.
You mentioned Smith got a lot of points. He's second on the team with 57. Deflection in front of the net. That one goes wide there from Michael Todoruk. Set it up again. Pass goes back to the line. Off the stick of Solipa. Get it across there to Ronan White. Side of the net. One-timer there from a pretty bad angle from Cochin. That one goes wide. Comes over to White again. Back over to Solipa left circle. Low wrist shot. Didn't get through. Bounces into the boards. Backhanded by Pasechnikov. Up and off the glove of Ronan White. That one will go out of play. So the faceoff should absolutely come outside.
Well,
and it will.
I will say, the one time this Transcona team has gotten established zone time has been on these 5-on-3s.
Yeah.
Those advantages. And, man, we've really seen them take advantage of having those 2 less men out there for Fort Garry and working that puck around and getting some really nice looks out there on Birch Hayden. It's just unable to capitalize. And 9:30 left in this game, you got to start capitalizing on chances like this, like you have. A prime opportunity when Fort Garry can't be as aggressive on their power play. Or on their penalty kill, that is.
You know, I misspoke earlier. I said 5-on-4. I meant 5-on-3. Continuing there for Fort Garry. Osterman in the face-off circle. Controlled there by Fort Garry. Moved ahead to Osterman. Has it right in front of his own bench. And he'll squeeze it past Caden Bruchansky all the way down the ice. Out of his own zone here is Austin Campbell. Over the line down the left side. Up into the left corner it goes. Campbell chases after it. Pushes it back up the wall. Here's Bruchansky. Cross ice pass. Taking it on a hop off the boards there was Todoruk. Couldn't get a shot away. Cleared up for Gilberto right out of the box. 2-on-1 with Matani. The pass goes to the middle. Diving out his power as he knocks it away. Centered there by Gilberto. And it's picked up there by Transcona and skated back by Shadow Noof to center. Pass on the left wing a little too far for Parker Jans. Helmanderis is back on it. Chips it ahead for Gilberto and he'll clear it all the way out to center. Great penalty kill and a good attempt there right out of the box for Gilberto and Matani on the 2-on-1.
Yeah, and you know what? Justin Powers coming out of his net to be aggressive and then making a save when he's not in his crease. Big save there by the Transcona goaltender. And for this Twins team, getting a save there from their goaltender in Birch Hayden, but creating some offense as that penalty expired with getting a player out of the box in Gilberto, I believe. 2-on-1 created chance there, and they just can't come away with the shot.
Birch Hayden made a save on a point shot and hung on, so we'll see a face-off to his right. Controlled there by Transcona. Shot that was stopped there from Hudson Chamberlain. Jason Caution from his knees knocks it behind the net. Battling for it is Chamberlain there for Transcona. Out to the line. Missing and fanning on the shot there was Bartecki, and it goes all the way down past him into the Transcona zone. Good forechecking there from Sloan Tremblay, causing some problems. Transcona gets it out right into the waiting arms of Caden Hedlund. Over it goes to his left for Eric Voth. He'll clear it in deep. That'll be icing on the Twins. 7:47 to go in the third. 4-2 the lead here for Fort Garry. Face off in their zone. And it'll be to the left of Birch Hayden, his glove side. Gardner leans in, wins the draw, back to Voth below his own goal line, sends it along the boards. The puck comes back to the point, and Fort Garry will get it to center. Comes ahead on right wing there for Johannesson, shoots it in, and they're going to call that icing. He was really close to the red line, but I guess not close enough. So the face-off will be in the Transcona zone.
For this Fort Garry Twins team, if they win tonight in this game, they will most likely split the last two games of the season they have with Transcona because they're down 4-1 heading into that next one already. So the Twins definitely wanting to take this one home here with 7:18 remaining. They played pretty solid for the most part. They did let up a 2-goal lead, but they got a 2-goal lead back now.
Coming in off a turnover. Tried to make a 2-on-1, but Connor Toth had it poked away from him. Now into the zone comes Fort Garry. Wrist shot, saved by Powers. Big rebound. Wrist shot, score! That's David Balshaw. 5-2, Fort Garry the lead. Balshaw puts home a rebound off a shot by Parker Jans. And it's a 3-goal lead for Fort Garry, their biggest of the night.
Declan Bowden's shot creates a rebound that is uncontested from Transcona. Powers makes the first save and is not quick enough to get to the second one because Balshaw's shot is just too strong, Graham, and too quick for those Transcona defenders, evidently. And we got a 5-2 game.
Puck goes on to the Transcona bench. Balshaw's had a great game for Fort Garry. Be number 11 on the year. Although, like I said, I'm not sure who they're actually officially giving the third period goals to, the ones from the start of the period. Save made there by Powers, he'll hang on.
And a shooter like David Balshaw, you don't clear that rebound away right away. He finds it. He's most likely going to put it in the net with the shot he has, even though he only has 11 on the season.
Now the puck comes out to center ice. Being separated from it there was Michael Todoruk. And they will regroup. Well, the Twins. Pass is knocked down by Todoruk at the Fort Garry blue line. It's picked up by Sloan Tremblay, and he'll lift it high into the right wing corner in the Transcona zone. Now, they're either going to say that's icing, and I think they will. They're going to bring it back all the way into the Fort Garry zone. He had at least I don't know, man. He had a foot very close to the red line, at least.
Yeah, I was more so thinking, like, it almost hit the roof.
It was close, yeah.
Very close.
That was close to being a home run, too, in that right wing corner. Now here's Tremblay out of his own zone. Pass up ahead on the left wing. It'll be backhanded in by Darian Medwick. Out to play it there is Powers behind his own net. Sends it along the boards. It'll be moved up by Chapko to the line, but not out. Ty Parker thought he kept it in. He didn't. And so that's offside on the Twins.
Close one there for Kai Parker. Just unable to keep it in the Transcona zone. Had it in between his feet a bit. And yeah, the face-off will be outside near the Fort Garry bench, but just outside the Transcona zone, and they win it.
Jason Koch in the win there, the captain of the team. 41 points on the year for Cochin. That's 1.32 a game. Down the left wing side here is Hudson Chamberlain. Two guys converge on him in orange jerseys. The puck comes free, and it's Helmendaris who sends it around behind his own net. Osterman has it on the left wing. Osterman's pass goes off a skate. It comes to Voth, and he'll drive it in deep into the right corner. They thought about calling an icing. They won't do it. And the pass comes ahead to Chamberlain on the left wing. Cross ice feed over to Matthew Smith. Voth finishes his check on him, but Smith gets it deep. And now controlling the puck in his own end is Nick Gilberto up the right side. It's driven by Gilberto in deep, and that will be icing. And we're going to face off in the Fort Garry zone. 5:13 to go here in the third. 5-2, the home side with the lead. And it'll face off over to Birch Hayden's right, the stick side. And it'll be Helmendaris in the face-off circle across from Jeremy Shadownuff.
I think the Twins got to be satisfied with these last two games.
That's going to be a penalty slashing call. And we'll see who they bring away. I think it's going to be Hedlund for the Twins. Yeah, it will.
So we'll see. Transcona going back to the power play. They worked it around well last time, although that was more so a 5-on-3. But yeah, for the Twins, they'll look to kill this one off, and they win 3-0 in their most recent game against St. Boniface, on their way to a 3-goal win at this point against the Transcona team that, like talking to their coaching staff before the game, had some desperation coming into this one.
As they set up here on the power play, just under 5 minutes to go in the third. Birch Hayden gets knocked over. He falls backwards into the net. Right there for Transcona was Matthew Smith. And he was kind of battling for position with Pasechnikov. Birch Hayden's now up on his feet.
Yeah, Birch Hayden up on his feet now. It didn't take him too much time to get up.
Yeah, he's all right.
But
face-off to his right. And it'll be Gardner leaning in for the face-off for the Twins. And the face-off is won there by Jason Cochin. At the blue line, it's Ronan White. On the right wing side down to the face-off circle. Throws it down in behind the net, and there is Matthew Smith. Smith gets it off to Chamberlain. Wrist shot. That one goes wide on the short side. Kept in at the left point there by Connor Solipa. Pass across to White. Solipa up top. Looks at the net. Pass to the side of the net. Trying to stuff it in there is Matthew Smith. Maybe a bit of an early whistle, but Birch Hayden the save. He was definitely trying to freeze it. He might be in a bit of discomfort. Smith was right there at the post trying to drive it in.
I think they're exchanging some words maybe. Smith got an extra hack near at the end there to put that puck in, you would think.
That might be Hudson Chamberlain. He's still Chamberlain's in behind the net there, but I think it was Smith who tried to stuff it in from the side though. Face off one there by Fort Garry. They'll get it all the way down the ice. And that was Hunter Livingstone with the clear. Solip was back in behind his own net. Minute 8 to go here in the power play for Transcona, trying to give themselves a shot in this one. Pass up the right wing side, deflected in there by Michael Todoruk, and he'll give chase around behind the net. On him there is Kai Parker. Puck comes over here to White on the right wing. He'll dump it down the boards into the corner. Stepping into his man in there for Fort Garry is Hunter Livingstone. It's played in behind the Fort Garry net to Ronan White. Lost it. It'll be cleared to center. And Transcona will go back for it in their own end. Just over 30 seconds left in the penalty. And here's Bruchanski from behind his own net. Up the right side, it goes to Ronan White. White gets it across, and it'll be moved forward there by Bruchanski. No further than the blue line. They'll clear it all the way down.
This Fort Garry penalty kill, I think the reason why it is so good is because of their aggressiveness, man. Like,
big hit there from Pasechnikov, and down goes Parker Jans. Huge hit along the near boards.
Right as I was saying, aggressiveness, an aggressive hit there to step up, and yeah, that's
it's like you're a warlock or something.
Yeah.
You knew.
I just knew it was coming, you know?
Puck is cleared out of harm's way there from Transcona. Coming up for it in the middle of the ice there was Jans. Couldn't get the puck out. Great job by Matani battling for it to keep it in. Gets checked, gets it toward the front of the net. Stolen and cleared back through the middle of the ice there by Austin Campbell. Campbell over the blue line. Poked away into the corner by Tremblay. And he'll send it up on the right wing boards. Knocked down there on the far side by Chateauneuf. Tried to center it. Goes off a leg and all the way out to center with a whole bunch of bodies in front of the Fort Garry net. Great shift there for Matani, and he brings it into the zone right after the Transcona change. Matani's wrist shot goes wide, and the puck comes out of the corner. Battle for it on the near side, and skating up on the right wing here is Nardella. Into the zone. Wrist shot. Pad save by Birch Hayden. The puck goes into the corner. Nardella's on it there on the left side. 2-on-2 battle down there. Evan Dimitro plays it in behind the net. Big hit there by Matani, who's just been a force in this shift. They lift it to center, and Klimchuk will give chase there for Fort Garry up against Conrad Solipa. Away to center comes Ronan White. Couldn't get away from Medwick. Medwick had it for a second and lost it. It's pushed up the right wing side there by Nardella and into the zone. Here's Dimitrov. Tried to center it. Bounces to the far boards, and Klimchuk will clear it up the wall to center. Here's Gardner. Gardner's pass over to Medwick on left wing. Takes it on a hop off the boards, drives it in, and he'll go off on a change. Back in his own end, it's Declan Whiteman. Clear up the boards on the far side all the way down. Icing is the call on Transcona. Minute 21 to go in the third. 3-goal game for the Fort Garry Twins.
Yeah, and for the Transcona Railway Express, another icing in this one, 1:21 remaining. They're down by 3 goals, missing their best players, so I think they'll be just looking to finish this one stronger, whether that's not allowing another goal or getting possession time, getting some shots, getting a goal, whatever it may be.
Puck is controlled here by Transcona. Ronan White gets it to center. Skating up across the red line there is Bartecki. Bartecki, pardon me. Cleared up by Fort Garry to center. Shot right back in by Jacob Howell. And chasing it up into the right wing corner there is Jeremy Chateauneuf. 2-on-2 battle down there in the corner. Gardner gets in there to poke it ahead. Gibson on the near side. 40 seconds to go in the hockey game. Here's a wrist shot in the slot there by Kyle Chapko. Didn't get through. And it'll be cleared back to center. Icing on Fort Garry. And I apologize. There's Kyle Chapko wearing number 10 on the roster, and there's Nathan McDonald, and I said both of their names. Both on the Transcona roster. Shot from the blue line, didn't get through. Clear to the line, but not out. Seconds ticking away here in the third. 5-2 lead for the home team, the Twins. Backhander on net. Save Birch Hayden there on Evan Dimitro, and Birch Hayden will cover up for a face-off. A big statement game for Fort Garry, given that they're in a pretty bad position, down 4-1 in the other game that's going to resume Tuesday night.
Yeah, Fort Garry already has a playoff spot locked up. Transcona will not accomplish that in tonight's game, as this one will be a regulation loss for them. But Fort Garry, they've had their struggles as the season has gone along. They'll be on a 2-game win streak now, though, heading into that matchup where it's almost certain they'll lose against Transcona barring something. 3
There
or
we
4
go.
goal comeback, but here we have
There
it.
we
As
go.
scrums continue, and it's been the story of this game, hasn't it been, Graham? Just the chippiness that ensues, and
Everybody in there. 4 players fall to the ice kind of away from the boards. That's where the officials are. Everyone else just kind of sorting themselves out. Guys in headlocks down below the goal line. And then 2 guys, I can't tell who they are. I think one of them is, well, no. We'll see.
Mariano, I
When,
believe.
that's
Nope.
Parker.
Nope. Parker, Kai Parker.
Him and Noah Nardella were grappling and just wrestling on the ice before being brought away. And they'll be brought away by the linesman. Hockey game is over. 5-2, the win here for the Twins, and now they'll celebrate. As a big performance for them. Birch Hayden was great in this one. And one where the tension was really up there, Graham.
Yeah, it was riding high in this one, Graham. And both these teams will meet for one last time. Just a bit of the game left, a period or so left in that 4-1 contest that was postponed earlier on in the year due to an injury. But the Twins moved to 22, 15 and 5 on the season, while Transcona falls to 16, 20 and 4. In this game here tonight was David Balshaw with 2 goals, leading goal scorer for Fort Garry tonight. DeGrave, Lazard, and Medwick with the other ones, and Cochin and Chamberlain with the goals for Transcona. In this one, could not tell you what the shots were, but I will say Transcona came out in this game and I would say looked like the more aggressive, the stronger team to start things off. But look, Fort Garry, trust in their penalty kill, killing off 2 big power plays to start things off, started getting momentum changing their side of things more so that way. And they get 2 goals in that first period. Transcona answers back with 2 themselves, but the Twins, they stuck with it. They had the more established zone time in this game. They were a team that looked like their emotions, maybe they were riding high, but not as high as Transcona's. And I think that, along with how the Twins were able to capitalize on their advantages in the offensive zone, work that puck around, find ways to beat Justin Powers, and get that great goaltending from Braden Birch Hayden, were the things that won for them in this game today.
5-2 the final score. Fort Garry over the Transcona Railer Express. Graham Sevier Freilich and Graham Forsyth, thank you very much for watching from Century Arena.